Hey guys, this is Void of Dust Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content. Someone on this channel was asking me in the comments if it is possible to show some ranked matches, and as chance would have it, I happened to play one of those ranked games with ZEPHYS in the jungle. So as the game went fairly well, I wanted to show you the game and the build and talk a little bit about my choices, as well as showing you some ranked match. So without further ado, I want to hop into my build section. I was playing ZEPHYS completely on damage with just one item that's fixing his armor a little bit. And the only thing that I can mention before hopping into the build is if you haven't subscribed to the channel, now's your chance to do so. If you liked the video, thumbs up would be highly appreciated. And if you've got anything to say, the comment section is your place to write down whatever you want to. Enjoy the game and let's see each other on the battlefield quite soon. Welcome to the armory, as you can see. And as I've already said in the intro, we are building ZEPHYS on full damage. So the only item that we've got for tank purposes is the Leviathan. I just looked it up and it sounds completely horrible how you pronounce it in English, but the Leviathan, this beauty here. Then we're going for the Gilded Greaves for the additional cooldown protection. And then you can see the full staple. We've got the Rank Breaker, we've got the Omni Arms, and we've got the Fenrir's Tooth for the maximum damage output. And on the last item, we are choosing the Blade of Eternity, just to get us back in the game if we should have dived the backline and by any occasion we died in while doing so. Arcana-wise, I've got something normal for you using my Marksman Warrior build. I think that is quite good with the full damage approach. So we've got 10 times Onslaught, normal attacks are enhanced, as well as getting us or granting us some armor pierce. We use the Assassinate. We want our normal attacks to be as strong as possible, and we want to have a little bit of movement speed, pretty nifty as a jungler to be faster. And the last one is a Skewer. We've got the normal attack enhanced, which isn't that great, but the armor pierce is the stuff that we're looking for. So this is kind of like a staple that I'm playing on ZEPHYS all the time. And in the enchantment section, you can see that we have built the Devourer for the kill and assist restore mechanic. So we do get some HP and mana back. We're using the Deadly Claw for enhancing our attack damage even further. And on the kind of ultimate, we're using the Curse of Death. So every single time we hit something for 3 times, we will get additional magic damage. Something questionable or debatable is that I'm using Reaper's Blessing here, but due to my playstyle, I die a lot between minute 3 and minute 6. And that is going to be used in this video, so right choice for the right build. And of course, Gunslinger is a staple because it's giving us an additional damage stack, so we're good. Let's go. So here you can see the setup. We are against Wukong and the stuff. Oh, that was really quick. Anyways, you need to pause the game then. Okay, never mind. I thought I would do something new, but as this is a one-take approach, we are doing this for one time and then afterwards we're not doing anything. Spoiler alert, this is not to show off anything cool. Like, this is not to kind of mock our enemies. The game happened as it happened. I can't change the I can't change how the game worked. So guys, if you're on the enemy team and you see it, don't take it personally. It just happened. Things like that do work and I can't change it. So we're starting off our jungle rotation at blue because we wanted to have the red buff secured by the duo lane team. And right after we collected our first item, the Kukri, we are going in for the Gnoll Cleaver, which is the first item that we want to build. And then afterwards, we're going for our boots. Really crazy first blood here. I did not expect to be even that strong and that overwhelming at the very first minute of the game. So That was actually surprising, and it was also super cool that he kind of made this. I don't know how after pinged we can turn this around to the full team, but kind of worked. And as you can see, we are doing a full jungle rotation to hit level 4 before we do or before we think of anything else. I'm not super consistent on the way how I build my abilities. I would always advise you guys to maximize your first ability and then going for the second one, and you want to unlock your ult or upgrade your ult every single time possible. That's like the way to go for. I did the maths, and despite the fact that you have a combo of hits using your 2, and another tip, you should always stand still. Like if you move, it will be cancelled early, which means that you don't get the full damage output. So stand still while using your second ability. That's just something that I can tell you after I've played him, and I've been completely disrupted in the comments where people were advising me to don't do this. Have you never ever played ZEPHYS? And I was like, not to the extent that you guys might have played him, because I play a lot of heroes, which means I'm not really good on any of them, but I can play most of them, and I know basically what most of these guys do. So I was spotting that Arthur and Ebeneth were in a fight here. Unfortunately, Ebeneth was pushing Arthur back into the tower. The good thing is that the tower was targeting Ebeneth because of the prioritizing mechanic. He was dealing damage to Arthur, therefore he was kind of fixed from the tower, and that was a really nice first kill here. With a little bit of luck and a little bit of map awareness, we made it possible. So now there's a rotation up top, but I want to continue my farming process, as I can see that both Ebeneth and Gilder are up here. And due to the communication with my team, I decided to go back after I asked them, is it necessary that I come into the fight? And as you can see, I just smacked my frostbite right into the face of that Azankar. Really nice ult from Gilder here. I kind of tagged the ability wrong, but it doesn't matter because Wukong is not able to get out as he should have in time, and that just gives us another kill. So we're going with a crazy 5-1 in under 5 minutes. 3-0 here for me. That's nothing that you should be ashamed of. And as I see that the party is going to continue on the bottom lane, I decided to go straight for the red buff, ignoring another jungle camp and going straight into the party to help my teammates here. You can see that the, what's her name? Alice has already been using her ultimate. Misclicked here, really stupid, but then I don't know what the heck was going on with that Valheim. And due to the crazy mechanics of ZEPHYS, he's like really mobile with all his stuff. I was able to get out here alive easily, and that is just going to continue our killing spree. So right now we have just evolved into a 7-2, which is actually super nice. And as I said, this is not gonna be a mock to the enemies. Things like that just do happen. Our coordination in this game was fairly well, and we were using that to the fullest extent. And here's now the trouble. I just can't. I try to throw everything into that one basket to get the Wukong, but of course the tower dive was on this case rewarded with a death. So yeah. Good thing is, now our middle lane is a little bit freed because Azankar is dead. Like, not anymore, but he was dead. So that gives your team the opportunity to push. But of course, it's always a little bit more problematic if you die as the jungler, as if someone else would die, because you are the force that's gonna grant your team numbers, which means that you want to have team fights where you are the third member in a 2 versus 2 and just dealing damage in the favor of your team. I don't know how or why some people are using, could be Chinese. I'm not entirely sure about this, and I don't want to offend anyone, but that was crazy. Like, I don't know why I was hopping into that war. I don't know why people are not using English. It's just like if someone is watching that from another country and he's using his country language all the time, make it easier, guys. Make it easier for a team to follow what your instructions and your wishes, your problems, your dreams might be about. Use English. It's a common language and everyone understands it, and it's fairly easy for Eastern or Western Europeans to understand what you're up against or up about or up to. So use it and we will get what you mean, because otherwise we can't help you and you will be frustrated because we will not listen, because we can't listen as there is nothing to listen about. So yes, it was just kind of like, what are these guys talking about? And is it necessary for the game, or are these guys just like flaming themselves? There's a software installation that I could use on my Samsung, which is always implied here. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm recording that video, but you guys have to bear with me. You will see that eventually again, because it's just about to happen. So follow up here with my ult, and yeah, luckily he goes out. I could have used my frostbite, but I did not want to, and now I need to go back, but it was too late. Arthur was right about my heels. Pretty good gameplay, and yeah, we were just diving in or overextending a little bit too much here. It was just too much to bear, so be careful around middle lane, even if you pushed, if your team is not following up, and if you don't ask your team to follow up, which we didn't, they don't know what you are up against or up to, so be careful with that. Otherwise, you're gonna die, and this might just set your team back. As you can see here, like right now, did not recognize that in-game or while I was playing the game, but we have just turned our kill lead into a death lead. Like right now, we are up against a 10-11. Which doesn't look that well anymore. Still, we have pushed towers, especially the middle tower is really important. So right now we've got 2 towers, enemy team doesn't, and this is just something that's like a cakewalk. Like, you don't want that to happen if the jungler is fed and you're grouping up, especially if you've got someone who's as mobile as ZEPHYS. Because I can just quickly follow up. Here comes the triple kill, and I've got another item which is just complementing my build. Really, really nice. And while my team is pushing, and I asked them, like, this is one of the moments where you are actually working with the team. Like, we decided that, or we discussed that in the team chat. I said, will you make the push? And they were all going in. So I was about to clear the Abyssal Dragon, and that's something that's really important. Like, if you do something like that, always double check if your team knows what you're about to do and see if you can actually help them, or what's your purpose in game. There's nothing that I can do about this. So the reward is that we got another tower, or even like not the full tower, but we've got half the tower here. And that's something that's gonna actually help us. Right now, my job is only to defend the mid lane, and I can do that quite easily because they're just minions and they're not starting to poke. I mean, Azenkar is not the best poker in the world, especially if he doesn't have gold, which should have been the case in this game, because I don't really think that he did that much. And we could turn the tide of the battle into something that was helping us. Right now, here comes a dead Valheim. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what this idea was, and that's something that I can tell, especially for newer players. If there is a situation where you are about to win or throw the game, especially if it's tense like this game, you should always try to avoid getting too close into the enemy lines. Don't try to overextend. It's always gonna be harmful for your team. And as you can see, some kills later, we are just about to finish everything. Beautiful ultimate from our Gilder here. He made it super easy for our team to get the Wukong. And there we go. Nearly full team wipe. I'm dominating the game, which is actually quite nice. And I wanted to show you this because sometimes I got the feeling that you think that I'm super stupid, which is in fact the case. Like, yeah, that's true. But I can play the game if I just stay focused. So don't be too mean in the comments. I know that I could have done better, but this is game and it was quick. And I would say the last action of the enemy team was basically the action that determined the outcome of the fight. They were overextending way too much. I think they might have been too confident because they cleared the Darkslayer and therefore they thought that they had the push opportunity. But as you can see, even if with no low numbers here, I can be the MVP. Great teamwork here, and that is the game for today. 21-17, quick match, 12 minutes. That's the details. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.